Some of you, really. It's, it amazes me. Have you met people? They're interesting. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. The whole Epstein thing was a hoax. So nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Not a thing.
He's not even really dead.
He's not. He's on an island.
He and Ghislaine are on an island, that not the Epstein Island. No. They got him a new island.
With Tupac.
Yeah.
Right? Biggie, Bruce Lee, Elvis. They're all there. Doing their thing, whatever that is. Just, it is, this, look, this entire situation has become a nightmare.
Andy Kaufman.
That's right. Forgot about him. And it is a nightmare in their own making. It is a nightmare that they didn't have to make, but they did. And it started long before any of this stuff with Pam Bondi. It went from the outskirts of things that people kind of knew who he was, into all of a sudden the QAnon people picked up on. All of a sudden it became a much bigger thing because, there's so much stuff out there. And a lot of stuff people aren't aware of. And you got to do your research. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to. A lot of people also don't even know what they're looking for. And sometimes stuff just happens upon them. And then it becomes a story. And then the story became something bigger. And then the podcasters got a hold of it and became huge. Especially for a certain segment of Trump supporters. And Trump himself. And Don Jr. And J.D. Vance. And we can go on and on. Kash Patel. Dan Bongino. On and on. Pam Bondi. And then the big announcement. Everybody shows up at the White House. Many of them have no idea about getting any of the folders. They just get the folders. They didn't know. They think they were there for something else. And then it was a big dud. But don't worry, because I got everything. I got the files. I got the things. I got this. I got that. It's all there. Don't worry. We got this handled. This could be easy. You guys are going to love this. It's going to be incredible. We're going to expose the deep state. Then out of nowhere, why are we still talking about him? He's dead. He's dead. This is Comey's fault. This is everybody else's fault. This is Biden's fault. This is Obama's fault. This is Warren G. Harding's fault. Whoever that they're coming up with. No, this became an issue that it shouldn't have become because the failure to communicate in the right way and blow it up the way that they did, and then to sweep it under the rug, and then to come out today and insult people who support you. That one's on you, sir. That one's on you. No. Yesterday, you brought up the deep state of the Democrats. Nobody else did. What's a hoax? I'm curious. What's a hoax? But to insult the people that support you is that's not a good thing. It isn't. That doesn't win you fans, and it's pissed people off. And if you think, it's no big deal, under 35, so under the age of 35, almost 70% view this as a big deal. They helped Trump get across the line. He was big with young men. And this became an issue because it seems like you want to hide something. And then every time you start to talk about it, it becomes a bigger deal because, it's no big deal, or it's a Democrat hoax, or it's Comey's fault, or it's this person's fault, or it's Obama's fault. What's the hoax? Whose fault's about what? We don't even know what's in the files that don't exist. Let's not even forget the fact that they have now done a full meta-analysis of the video. 3 minutes is missing. 3 minutes. And it's videos that have been spliced together. You're not even trying at this point. It's a joke. So when you tell a kid, when you tell anybody, don't look, what are you going to do? What's your first inkling? I'm going to look. What's going on? You don't want me to look at something? Oh, I'm definitely going to look. And then when you truthed out something today, the radical left Democrats, have hit pay dirt again. I thought this was just bad people across the board. I know there was Democrats and Republicans involved in this. I didn't know there was any of that. I thought the question was Mossad involved? Were we involved? But the more that you push, the more that people are going to ask questions. And when you come out and you said their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past, all capital, supporters have bought into this BS, hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson, probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. People feel like you're taking shots at them. People who supported you, who want you to do well, who they thought you and the administration was telling the truth when you wanted to stop powerful people from being, quote unquote, the big, deep, dark, evil state. So you claiming that this is a hoax, you claiming these things, and the way that you've pushed it and the way that you've framed it, that's got more people asking more questions. And you can't blame them. You can't. People are upset too because they put themselves on the line, their reputations. They stake their reputations on a lot of stuff, and now they're finding out that they feel like they've been played. Would you not feel a little frustrated by that? Would you not feel like maybe, just maybe, if I talked about something for quite a long time and it to be true and was behind you 100% and believed a lot of what you said, and then you come out and you kind of said, yeah, it's nothing to see here. Everybody's time to go away. It's no big deal. I think people would be a little frustrated about that. And when you've got the likes of, yes, even the world's most boring politician in House Speaker Johnson saying, yeah, we need to take a look at this. We need some transparency, because he understands a lot going forward now. The conversation has shifted. I think a lot of people would like to get it behind us. But do you trust now? Some of you trust implicitly. It doesn't matter what he says, right? He walks on water. He's all that, a bag of chips. And for others, though, and I'm surprised, and Chris and I were talking about this today, there's a lot of people that are upset about this because nobody's talking about the victims. Nobody's talking about what those people went through. Somebody said earlier, as we were talking about the little people, if you will, the dwarfs, how people are sticking up for dwarfs because there was this big soccer player, if you guys are just tuning in, who had a party and they were there. They got paid. They were part of the entertainment thing. And a bunch of people now are like, well, they shouldn't do that. And people are talking for them. And somebody goes, couldn't you equate this to the same thing? They're not out there talking about it, the victims, so why should we care? Yeah, it's a little different. What are you talking about? No, the issue is you've insulted a lot of people who supported you. Some of you out there who live and die for Trump, and we get these, I'm going to switch the channel. Hey, Bill, I'm switching the channel to someplace that's... Guess what?
Hold on. I didn't have us on.
Yeah.
I switched the channel earlier. What'd you say?
I'm going to switch the channel.
Oh, them too?
Go ahead. And you know what you're going to find? A lot of people that are in the same position that who are honest, asking similar questions.
But to be fair, if all you're looking for is validation, there's somebody out there that'll give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want you to not have your validation.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting bad when they're calling around to several of these influencers and saying, hey, come on, let's stop it now. We'll move on from here. No, there's no moving on because you never released anything. You didn't give anything and you pushed it. So 2 things here. Either there's some there for powerful people. I'm not saying Trump. The way you're acting is a little suspicious. We can all say that. If this was anybody else, you'd be like, if this was Biden saying that, everybody would be like, oh, he's definitely done something. So, or the other thing is, this was always a giant lie, and you used it to push the giant lie to help you. And that's awful. Somebody asked me, what did Warren G. Harding do? You don't know about Warren G. First of all, Warren G. Harding was awful. He was as dirty as they come. He had a daughter with Nan Britton, who was a young younger lady, and they had a kid. She was crazy. And like half of his staff was prosecuted and went to jail because they were just taking as much money as they possibly could to offer protection. Yeah, he was a bad dude. So if you want to know, there's your Warren G. Harding lesson of the day. Meanwhile, other stuff. The Fed. Trump wants to get rid of the Fed. Will he? Won't he? He's going after old Powell.
That organization has been the worst thing to happen to this country in the last 115
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the
years.
Fed. I'm not a fan of a lot of the agencies, but alas, here we are. He does a terrible job. He's the worst. Who appointed him? We got a little inflation. It's not much. It isn't. It was nasty. I mean, it was not when it's the worst inflation ever. It was nowhere near to what it was in the 80s and stuff. But it was not good. We can all admit on that.
What was it under Carter? Like 13 or 14%?
Oh God, yeah, it was ridiculous. I just remember as a kid, Carter. Maybe many of you guys remember this. Remember the odd and even on the back of your license plate. That's when you could go get gas. You remember how bad that was? People waiting in line?
Waiting in line to get gas.
Waiting in line to get gas.
And not just 3-4 cars ahead of you. You're like 20, 30, 40 cars
It's like
back.
Costco on a busy Saturday.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And you're not getting cheap gas. Coming up, more goodies.
Oh, and not every car had an air conditioner back then either.
A lot of people were living just like Ken does with no air conditioning. Ken, who's in Tulsa, didn't even bother to tell us, the weather wizard. Oh, I didn't tell you. My wife got him a staff and a wizard hat.
Where'd she get that at?
Amazon, the world's greatest
Okay,
place.
you know what? We need to go to Paul, the big boss, and make it a rule that he has to use that when he's on camera.
When he's on camera,
Yeah.
when the weather gets crazy, the weather wizard appears.
Absolutely.
So coming up, a lot of stuff still to get to today on this most festive of Wednesdays. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
A Nashville business damaged after somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at it overnight. We'll have that story. And also, an arrest has been made in the murder of an American Idol executive and her husband. We'll have those stories at the bottom of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That was so weird. So you guys haven't heard. I think she was the on-set music director. Her and her husband had this big house. Some dude just murdered him. Didn't know him, had no relationship with him. And I mean, like brutal murder. What? Again, what the hell? What do you think? Drugs were involved? What do you think? Maybe.
I would be more inclined to believe there were drugs involved if it was a contestant.
How many have died? Ruben
Well,
died?
there's that one. I think she was an American Idol contestant, but there was one girl got murdered outside of a show during a meet and greet or something.
Oh, that's not good. Did Ruben die? Was he the
I
big
don't think
guy?
so.
No, I thought one of them. I thought one of the bigger ones. One of the ones that got to the end. I mean, I don't know my American Idol. You know what? I also don't know Love Island. And first of all, I was sitting there and somebody's like, so-and-so won Love Island. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Apparently, it's where they stick really pretty people that are half naked and they all go around having sex with one another. And then they're all, somebody won Love Island. And I looked at Belden and I go, somebody could win Love Island? That's what Epstein's like. I told you guys somebody could win Love. Oh, Chad. Yeah, I thought Ruben from, didn't he pass away? No, he didn't. He's still alive. I thought somebody did. That was like a biggie. Somebody's going to send me something.
Taylor Hicks lives here in town.
Yeah, I saw him here. So I saw him. He's coming a couple times. I saw him with Matt.
Yeah, he and Matt.
Fantasia. Did she die?
I don't.
She was. I thought one of them that got to like close to the final. William Hong didn't die. That guy lives forever because she banged. That guy was so awesome. Do you remember what his vote for the worst?
No, Fantasia's still alive. She's 41 now.
So you should just Google which American Idol contestant. That's what I'm going to do. Because never mind.
American.
Oh, God. Do you guys see how hard it is to get help? Oh, wow. There's like several of them. This has not been good. Mandisa. Okay. Nikki McKibben. Michael Johns. There's a lot of them. So, Mandisa, I thought she was the biggest of the.
Justin Guarini's career died.
Yeah, there's a few of them that have died. Has any of them how many of them gone on, had good careers besides Kelly?
Kelly, Carrie Underwood.
Justin Guarini, though, he's the Dr. Pepper guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the little Dr. But yeah, he's had a really good commercial. Like he's
well,
the
at least
Dr.
it led to something for him. I mean, because you can make good money doing commercials.
Oh, he make huge money doing. He's little Dr. Pepper. That guy's funny. Daughtry, he had his career.
Yeah,
all those moms swoon over him.
I mean, he has to tour to make money, which that's the one lifestyle I think I would hate is having to be on the road all the time to make an income. But he's doing it. And he's living the life.
Well, if you get to travel, and it's got to be tough. Like if you have kids, like the whole thing about being in a band, it's they always tell you what are the best times when all the guys look back when they're in their 50s and 60s and they've had their hits. They'll always say, "Man, the best time was when we had nothing. We were trying to get by, and it was frustrating, but we were traveling around. We were living in the van. We're doing the rock stuff. We're trying our butts, but it was us against the world."
Yeah, but once you get past that phase and you have to tour to make money, that's your only way to do it. It's like, okay, you have to be on the road X number of shows a year or you're not going to make your nut.
Yeah.
And then it's like the road controls you. You don't control the road.
I don't know what the fares are paying nowadays. What did you get at a fair? We're going to have tickets next week, right, to the Williamson?
Yes.
No? Super. Oh, who's playing there? Do they have somebody? Is it the Beach Boys? I feel like it's the Beach. It feels like it's the Beach Boys. Or the 3.5 Tops, of which there's only one guy who kind of met a 4 top at one point in time. A lot of people chiming in. Patrick, pastor, says, I'm only 33, so maybe I'm mistiming something, but it seems like common sense when we're talking about the entire situation with Epstein and Trump. He said, is there some, also something conservatives used to champion? They did. Common sense would say that there's some issues here. So it's Adam Lambert didn't die.
Adam Lambert is doing pretty well singing lead vocals for Queen.
He's done pretty well. It's always the person that finishes like 7th because you never really remember the winners outside of
Kelly Clarkson.
And
Kelly's remembered because her career was so big, but she was also the first. And
who was the other one, the blonde?
Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, she was an American Idol.
And then there was another one, too, that was I don't think she came in number 1, but she's another country music artist.
And then the Fantasia, didn't she go on and have a huge career, though, like where she did like Broadway and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that. And I think she won an Oscar. She won. I thought so. I don't know. You don't know. Coming up, a lot of stuff we're still trying to squeeze in. Yes, somebody said there was a tragic death. We're going to talk about that.
Kelly Pickler. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, she had a pretty good career.
Yeah.
There was a death. Had nothing to do. It was a curse, potentially. We're going to talk about that. It's White Woman Wednesday. We do have some white women stuff. We got some immigration news as well. A bunch of other stuff to get to right here on the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7.
Good afternoon. It's 1:30, and I'm Jay Harper with your top stories. A weather forecast is coming up. Well, it's still up in the air as to whether President Trump will dismiss Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. The president says he's frustrated with the Fed's decision to keep interest rates where they are, at least for now. Powell has said that the uncertainty in tariff policy, along with stubbornly high prices for some goods and services, has led the Fed to not cut rates. Powell's term as Fed chair ends next year. During an Oval Office bilateral meeting with the Crown Prince of Bahrain, the president tied Powell to a renovation project in D.C. currently under review by the agency's inspector general that would renovate some buildings in the National Mall. ABC's Karen Travers pressed the president on his fraud claims.
You mentioned fraud in an earlier answer. Are you saying you want to investigate the Fed chair for fraud related to this renovation?
Well, I think he's already under investigation. He spent far more money than he was supposed to on rebuilding. I didn't see him as being the kind of guy that would You want to have parks, rooftop parks and everything else on top of buildings, but who wants to spend that money for the Fed? The Fed is supposed to sit there and say where interest rates are going and a couple of other very easy things to do.
The decision to cut interest rates, however, isn't just made by Powell by himself. It's made with a vote from a panel of 12 others and a Federal Reserve Bank president or two from other parts of the country. A Nashville bail bonding business was damaged after someone threw a Molotov cocktail against the wall of the business. That's according to Metro Police. Police say that someone first tried to throw a rock through the door of Brooks Bail Bonding there on Jefferson Street, and that happened just before they threw a Molotov cocktail into the building early this morning. Some damage was caused, and Metro Fire responded to the scene to collect evidence. Police say they are reviewing some surveillance video of the area to identify a suspect. Brooks Bail Bonding is one of two companies facing a $150 million lawsuit from the family of Lauren Johansson. Johansson was found dead in Mississippi days after her ex-boyfriend, Bryson Rivers, was released on bond from the Davidson County Jail in Nashville. And an arrest has been made in the murder of an American Idol executive and her husband, who were found shot to death inside their L.A. home. The suspect is identified as 22-year-old Raymond Budarian. ABC's Trevor Alt has more.
Authorities say they still don't know why he allegedly broke in.
Right now, it is an apparent random attack. The house did not appear to be ransacked.
Police received calls about a possible burglary that day.
My renter called 911 on Thursday because she saw somebody hopping the fence.
When officers responded, they say they saw no signs of a break-in on the ground or from a police helicopter.
That is the latest news. We've got weather next. I'm Jay Harper, WTN News.
Live, breaking, all the time. Breaking live, breaking, news. So, guess what, kids? Gen Z's out there. They're in the workforce. In fact, I read an article the other day in a study that 7% of Gen Z folk who go to job interviews bring a parent. Shame! Shame! Now you have to...
How do you agree to that as a parent?
I don't know. Well, the problem is you've allowed this to happen. You built this. So you probably think it's okay.
Like if Jack came to you and said, Dad, I need you to go to a job interview with me, you'd probably be like, no, that's something you need to handle as a big boy.
Yeah. Now, look, if he has to get somewhere and is his age now 15 and it's 15 miles away, sure, I'll drive him there, right? And maybe that's a different thing, right? Because they're in there with them. What? There's also something else, and many of you probably...
I get this picture of a lawyer in my head going, don't answer that question. You don't have to answer that question.
Yeah.
Don't tell him how much we'll negotiate later.
Like my 16-year-old, she's autistic. And you could see where, okay, my wife would have to drive her there, but she's not interviewing for she's not interviewing for a doctoral position somewhere. So, but she also can't drive. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who graduated college, right? This isn't a hamburger job where grandma or grandpa is going to zip you over there so you don't have to take the bus so you can get there on time and you're not sweaty and gross. That's what's insane. The other thing that's going on with Gen Z, and we bring it to you when nobody else does, they're all talking about Epstein. We're talking about the stare. What? The stare. I have done that. I have walked by people that are the Gen Z age. I have said hello to them, and it is like talking to a zombie. They walk by you, even if they make some eye contact, which they're terrified to do, make eye contact. It's bizarre.
This is our producer and resident Gen Z spokesperson, Amira Williams, who, by the way, answers questions very quickly.
So the Gen Z stare, I guess the best way I can describe it is kind of like the blank stare you get at somebody when isn't smart.
And while every generation seems to have complaints about young people nowadays being out of touch, she says this is a real phenomenon. She even acted it out with me. So here, I'll be a customer and you be one of these young people, one of these youths. So, okay, so you're like an office worker or you're like a host or at a restaurant or something, and I come into your space and I go, hello?
Hi.
But I was hoping to get like a table.
Okay.
That is so true. Okay. Yeah, now this is where you go get the table because you work at the place. I don't, right? Like, I ask you, can I have something? You respond with, what would you like? Then there's a situation where we have a conversation. I explain it to you, and you either take me to the table or you give me the drink or the food. That's the way that works. They don't do that. And maybe some of it is the Zoomy, if you will.
The reason this has become such a lightning rod is because it's often experienced in the service industry. You're entering a store or a restaurant or a waiting room. The job of an employee is supposed to be to make you feel welcome, not like you're bothering them. Amira says she's experienced this herself.
Sometimes, like when I go out shopping or go to stores, and I'll be walking through and I need to ask someone who works there for help finding something or locating something, I'll say excuse me, hey, and it's it takes a longer amount of time than it should for them to register, one, that I'm talking to them, and two, that I need help with something.
Some Gen Z workers, though, have been defending this dynamic, saying if you worked in the modern service economy, you would understand how often we are getting bizarre requests from left field. We're just getting our thoughts together.
I've had a person get mad at me because their iced tea was too cold. I really don't know what these people want from me. Of course, I'm going to just start staring at you. I'm going to stare at you like you dumb.
She's not very happy, but she's going to stare at you until you're dumb. Just look at that. What do you think of that? Give me my tea. And these things are funny, but they're out there. One of the big things, and I think when I first came on the air, one of the big things that we touched on was there is now groups of businesses that are specifically trained to go into modern workplaces to deal with the Gen Zs and the youngest of the millennials. And one of the things, I was listening to this lady today talk about the fact that they're unprepared for anything. You can't hit them with a question and that you got to give them time, which we all know is tough. And they don't understand a lot of the modern world of dealing with individuals because they've lived in a world of technology where texting and stuff like that and Zoom has been a much bigger deal. But they're not going anywhere, and this is the next workforce, and I think we need to realize that.
If this is a real phenomenon, what's the cause of it? Well, some say it's technological. We don't spend as much time speaking in person anymore. The rhythm is all off. Amira even says, our face-to-face interactions are different because we stopped having them at a crucial moment in our lives.
I graduated, I'm a COVID college graduate, so I graduated in 2021, and I personally, as a senior, saw a lot of freshmen come in who experienced the last 2 years of high school online.
She says those are pivotal years for navigating the world of conversation. It's when you start doing stuff for yourself, feeling real stakes. You're making your own purchases, you're going on dates, you're working. Maybe you got to navigate conflict in public with someone from a completely different background from yourself. Well, those high schoolers Amira was mentioning have just graduated college. Many of them are finally holding down their first jobs. And while they climb the professional ladder, the rest of us will just have to take the stairs.
Yeah, and several of you are chiming in about your experiences, and somebody said, fire them. It's hard to fire everybody that's young because eventually the old are going to retire and or die off, and then what do you have? You hope the robots are coming on strong, but they're not quite there yet. And this is funny.
And they don't want to hire the old because they're worried about them actually dying off, or they cost too much money, or we would rather have the young stupid.
Yes. Somebody said, and this is great, because several of you are going, oh my God, this just happened to me. But one person was talking about the fact that they'll call you And then they'll say, hello, as if you called them. Because we always call it, like, for my generation, I'm Gen X, right? So we call this a phone. It's not, it's a computer. And to them, they don't even know it's a phone. In truth, they don't even need it to be a phone. They're not calling anybody. They're not. So the world they've grown up is much different. And it's much more connected, yet very sterile. And so they have troubles. And that group of people that went through the COVID times, there's a struggle there with, being used to human interaction. They got used to Zoom calls. They got used to a lot of different things that weren't normal in the way that we've grown up. And we could all use a little bit of old school normal. I'll tell you that right now. Love it when you guys reach out to us. We got a lot of stuff still to squash into. We're talking about hot dogs today. Because it's National Hot Dog Day. And I'm like, what's the hot dog to go to? So I asked everybody, what's the best hot dog out there? Like, you get one hot dog. What's the hot dog? What's your go-to hot dog? We put up a poll at Chad Benson Show. Currently, Bell, 35.2% Hebrew Nationals. Nathan's is 30%. Oscar Mayer, 10.2%. And other, 23.9%. Some of the others, I've never heard of.
I find it a little difficult to believe that Oscar Mayer is only at 10% with the sheer volume of market share they have. Somebody's being a little disingenuous with their answers.
No, I think it's the beef dogs really is what people care. Costco gets a lot of the other. I don't know what Costco dogs are. Is that Kirkland? Do they make that? Fenway Franks, Dodger dogs. What is it? Is it Cayem? I've never heard of them. They're out of Chelsea, Massachusetts.
Sounds like it might be a kosher dog.
Yeah, so Hempler's, uncured beef franks seem to be good. Somebody says, this is crazy, but our local high school concessions, those dogs are really good.
Yeah, and your tweet only has 3 shares. It would be really helpful if you guys would share it so we can get a bigger sample size. Because we still got 15 hours to go.
I always forget to do stuff. Here's 2 things why I don't tweet as much. So you see Matt and Chris now, because everything's a fight. You could say hi.
No, it's not.
Yes. Well, you especially. Because you're always arguing, mostly with just Robert Reich. But you can say hi to somebody and it becomes a battle. And after a while, with all the other stuff I do, I'm like, all right, you guys go yell at me on YouTube and everything else. Check out my YouTube. We appreciate it if you guys go there, like and subscribe. Chad Benson Show on the YouTube, as well as ours. And we're on Rumble. How many people we watch a day?
I'll have to call it up. Let's see.
Oh, so KM is the best. I've never heard of them. That's a new one for me. So Google Gold Star Chili Cheese Dog. So I'm going to try that. Let me know.
We got 4 people watching on Rumble.
Oh, nice. Hummel hot dogs, the best. Let us know what the best hot dog is. We love hearing from all of you.
Just as a reminder, if you do use Rumble and you want to watch the show on Rumble, all you have to do is put in 997 WTN, and that will bring up our channel.
Yes, that's it. And you don't have to do anything else. Just 997 WTN. That's it. Simple and easy. It's searchable now. You can go do that. It is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.